Today's video is sponsored by Skillshare.
Check it out. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about how to buy a film camera. I'll be the first to let you guys know that I'm not always going to be the foremost expert on every single photography subject or just topic. There's a lot of other places that you could be better served. But I will say, if there's one thing that I'm qualified to talk about or that I would consider myself an expert at, it would be buying film cameras. This can be an incredibly intimidating process because when you get into the world of film photography, there's an abundance of new options for you to purchase, and I remember being there, but I have learned the hard way the proper channels or avenues, the things to look for, and I've been burned. I've brought broken cameras. I've had great experiences, so today I'm going to lay it all out for you guys, what I've learned, and hopefully this will make it easier for you guys. The first thing we're going to do is right off the rip, I'm just going to dive right into it because there's a lot to cover, and I'm sure there's things or tips or things to be looking for that I'll forget. So if you also have some advice, drop it down in the comments. But yeah, we're going to talk about all of the places that you can purchase a film camera in 2021, and then take a little bit of an in-depth look at all the different places. So let's get it popping. The first place that you're going to want to look is eBay. For better or for worse, eBay is kind of the market standard, and eBay is responsible for setting the prices on many things like film cameras, whether it be cards or really anything old. So when we're looking for just a base, streamlined place to start for prices, we want to go to eBay. The first thing that you need to know about eBay is that buy it now does not matter. If you go to eBay and type in the camera that you're looking for and you see cameras that are listed for X amount of dollars for buy it now, it does not mean jack. The first thing you need to do if you're on a desktop is scroll down to the left and look for a little thing that says completed items or sold items. Once you find that filter, whether you're on the mobile app or on your desktop, hit sold items and then look at all of the most recent sold listings for that camera. A few things that you want to be looking for when it comes to buying on eBay is you want to go to their account and look at their reviews. There are so many people selling on eBay that there is no reason to settle for anything less than hundreds of reviews, if not thousands. Especially when dealing with Japanese camera stores or brands, people are always asking, hey, should I buy from Japan? It seems more expensive. The bottom line on shopping from Japan or eBay is this: you will be paying more a lot of the times. I think for reference, the last camera I bought for Japan, I think I paid around $1,700 for it, but after I paid customs fees, taxes, shipping fees, all the way from Japan, it was like $2,000. That was an extra $300 US, but I justified it, and here's why. When you're buying from eBay, from a respected store, you're buying from Japan, the camera is actually probably going to be in incredible shape. It's going to be mint, it's going to work. You just have these assurances when you're buying from a Japanese store via eBay. So on eBay, look for respected sellers, look for a ton of 5-star reviews, look for people who are responding to their messages. Ask them questions, say, hey, just ask questions about the camera. If the seller won't respond, they don't have a lot of good reviews, bounce. And know, once again, that on eBay you probably are going to pay a little bit more of a premium, but that comes with a little bit of assurance. Assurances that the camera is going to work, it's going to be in good shape, yada 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 yada. So yeah, that's the scoop on eBay. And remember, eBay does set the market standard for prices. Like it, love it, or believe it, it's just the place you have to start usually. The next place I want to talk about, and arguably probably my favorite, and I would say that it's probably the best place to buy film cameras, is Facebook groups. There's a ton of different Facebook groups that I've come to love over the years. I'll name a few. Film Photo Gear is a good one. Film Cameras, Buy, Swap, Sell. If you're a Leica head, Leica Classifieds, just search cameras. There's all kinds of different groups literally for just specific brands like Mamiya or Pentax. There's just a ton of different groups for film cameras on Facebook. One thing to note is that if you're selling on Facebook groups or you're buying on Facebook groups, you're probably not going to be paying the same as eBay, so don't go on Facebook groups and try and sell for eBay prices because that's not what they're there for. They're there for good deals, and that's why everybody uses them. A few things to be looking for when it comes to dealing in Facebook groups. First, have some common sense. If the person's name is like Colonel Sanders or John Smith or Barney the Purple Elephant, and they have no profile pictures, and I know that some accounts may be private, but if it doesn't look like a real human being, it's probably somebody that just recently made an account to scam you. After you ask some very basic questions about the camera that you're looking to purchase from the person in the Facebook group, you're going to ask for some references. You're going to say, hey, ma'am or sir, do you have any people that you've sold a camera to in this Facebook group or anybody that you've dealt with? And make sure it's not like a family member, but somebody who you think is unbiased, to say, hey, yeah, I bought this camera from them last year, and it was a smooth process. They didn't scam me. They were fair. They were an honest person with good communication. You want those references or those vouches. So you found the person in the Facebook group. They seem like a real human being. You know that the final question you're going to ask is for some vouchers or some references, some other people you can reach out to that they've done deals with. But first, you need to be asking all these questions. Why are you selling the camera? Has this camera been recently tested? If this camera has been recently tested, can I see some photos from the recent rolls from the camera? You want to ask them about the condition of the camera. You want to probably ask for a video because it's way easier to examine a camera instead of getting 17 different angles that could have been doctored or because they just avoided whatever, taking a picture of the big ding on the bottom they don't want you to see about. When it comes to the condition of the cameras, remember, if it says it's meant from a Japanese store on eBay and you're paying that premium, the camera is likely mint. But remember this, how do I say this nice? Everybody says their cameras are mint on Facebook groups, but I promise you they are not. The definition of mint, chief, is that it just came out of the flipping box. So if you've banged 73 rolls through it on your last 3 trips, or you said you own the camera since 2014 and it's been your go-to and it's mint, it's not mint. Another question that you want to be asking from these people is, has the camera been CLA'd lately? This stands for CLA stand for clean, lubricated, just. Bingo. What's his name-o? So yeah, you want to make sure that your camera, you don't want to make sure, it's not a big deal if it hasn't been CLA'd, but it's always a bonus, and I don't mind paying a little bit more if the camera was CLA'd, 6 months or a year ago, because that can be a $200 or $300 process that they invested in the camera. So yeah, that's always a good question to ask as well. Lastly, after you've asked all these questions and the person was kind and respectful to you and they had good communications and you felt like they weren't trying to yank you around, you will come to a negotiation on the price. I often am working my price off of those sold listings on eBay and trying to get it for a little bit cheaper. Do not rock up to the scene on Facebook Messenger where the person has been incredibly kind, patient, answered all your questions, sent a video, seems like they really want to get the deal done, and you know that the good comps for it on eBay is $2,500, and offer the dude or the sister $1,500. That's just whack. It's not what it's worth. So know the balance between trying to get a good deal and not being disrespectful or lowballing somebody, because that could ruin the whole deal. Lastly, you're ready to seal the deal with the person. Use PayPal. PayPal has this nifty little thing called buyer protection. You are going to pay a fee for buyer protection, but it doesn't matter. It's only 2.9%. That means even if you're buying a camera worth thousands of dollars, buyer protection fee is only going to be at most maybe an extra $75 or $100, and usually on most camera purchases it's going to be anywhere from $25 to $100 because your camera is not more than thousands of dollars. I promise you, at the end of the day, you will never regret paying for that fee in case someone tries to scam you. You need to know that whether it's on eBay through PayPal or using PayPal through just somebody that you just met through a Facebook group, if you purchase buyer protection, PayPal will always side with you, and I mean always. So use PayPal and do buyer protection so nobody can pull a fast one on you. Pay the 2.9%, know that you're trusted, and PayPal has just got your back. You can just book it. Book it as in not like running fast, but like take it to the bank, like book it. The next place that you can buy cameras is going to be somewhere like Craigslist, or I don't know, like if there's a European equivalent to like this, but it's like a Facebook marketplace, a local pickup, a place where people are selling used goods. The upside to a Craigslist or a Facebook marketplace or places like this is that you can get a crazy deal, but oftentimes people have no idea what they're talking about. They don't understand the camera they're trying to sell. They'll have no information on it. And trust me, 9 out of 10 times it's somebody who unfortunately a family member passed away, or they got it at an estate sale and they went on eBay and they saw buy it now and they have it at an incredibly high price, and the camera hasn't been tested, hasn't been used in 20 years. And yeah, it's just not the best place to go looking for film cameras, in my opinion. If you do decide to go this route, or you think you have a steal and you're dealing with somebody that you really feel like they know what they're talking about, you're gonna meet up with this person, bring a knife or a bat or something to protect you, and yeah, you actually get to test the camera. So if you're picking up an SLR or a camera, I'd do a YouTube search. I would go on there and look at how the camera functions. I've been burned this way. One time I bought a Hasselblad 500 series camera that I thought was a fire deal, and I wasn't familiar with the body. I didn't know how it worked. Couldn't get the shutter to fire every time. Thought it was good. Ended up the camera was broken. So if you are going to do this, really make sure that you know how that camera works, because when you meet up with a person, you do want to test it as good as you can, because that is kind of the benefit of the Craigslist or the Facebook. You get to hold the camera, see it with your own eyes, etc. So yeah, it's risky, but the reward can also be high. So ball out if you want, play us in that route. The last places that you can be looking for a film camera in 2021 is these really big corporate companies that sell cameras, like a B&H or a KEH. With a B&H or a KEH, you're kind of going to be running into the similar thing as you would with eBay. This is a very big store. They're trusted. They have name ID. They have a reputation to uphold. So you're going to get a camera that works and functions properly right when you get it, which, you know, you would think that when you buy something it should work, but a lot of times with these old cameras, that's not always the case on Craigslist or Facebook. So that is a very large plus when you're dealing with a B&H or a KEH or any other big corporate camera company, is that you know when it gets there, it's going to be ready to go. With that being said, these are large companies, and so they might have a little bit more of that premium price. But if you have the money to spend, I do think it's worth it, just because you know what you're getting, and it's a really stress-free experience. The only thing to watch out for when it comes to a B&H or a KEH is that because these camera companies are so big and they have so much traffic coming to their website, is that a lot of times you can search for the camera on B&H and, like, you know, I just keep using the Mamiya 7 because it's my favorite camera. You can search it and it will probably come up in the search bar, but when you click on it, it will usually say sold out. So a lot of times, you know, these cameras are moving very fast through these large websites, and so you can't always find what you're wanting, and they don't always have, you know, the best inventory like eBay will, or the wide selection, or, you know, like a Facebook group where you can just sit there and type like, hey, I'm looking for this camera, this is my budget, and yeah, somebody's probably going to come through and say, hey, I have that camera, let's try and make a deal work. So yeah, I hope that this video has helped you guys. I know it is an incredibly intimidating process, trying to learn the lingo, trying to look for the different versions of cameras. Many of these film cameras have like 10 different versions of the body and the lenses, and I know it's intimidating. I still sometimes have to learn about different camera brands, but go on those Facebook groups, just join them, and you'll see it on your feed every day. You'll begin to learn what certain brands, certain cameras, certain lenses are worth. You really got to cut your teeth and put the time in and do the research. So yeah, I made this video because I've spent tens of thousands of dollars. I've had great experiences. I've been burned, I've lost money, I've made money on camera flips, and I just kind of wanted to give a quick overview of the pros and cons of each situation on all these different avenues where you can buy film cameras. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It means so much to me. Like the video, follow me on Instagram. Follow me, you know the deal.
Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes for creative and curious people just like me. On Skillshare, you can explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in a wide variety of topics. From music to photography to business or leadership, I'm sure that Skillshare has a class for you. When I first started photography, the person that I looked up to the most was a guy named Chris Burkhardt. Lucky for you and I, Chris has a class on Skillshare right now. The class is called Outdoor Photography, Shooting at Sunset, Sunrise, and Night. I've come a long way in my photography career, but I'm always looking for a little edge to up my game, and I've loved getting to see how someone like Chris approaches sunset and sunrise. One of my favorite things about Skillshare is that it's curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new classes so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity wants to take you. And the best part is, it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. Right now, the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description below will get a free trial of premium membership so you can hop on Skillshare right after this video.